Welcome to Coffee with the Superstore. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, and your local mortgage expert, and I have Erik Tinglum here. Thank you for joining us, Erik.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. My show is with real estate agents for real estate agents. I interview the best of the best in the industry so you can hear what they're doing and how they're doing it. Each week we travel to our superstar's office to invite you behind the scenes of their business. And again, this week we have Erik as our superstar. Let me just start out with sharing a little bit about Erik. Erik has over 25 years in the industry, and oh, by the way, I'm going to be a quarter of a century in 2 more years.
Shut the front door.
Yes,
That's
I know. I just had to plug that in there. He is president of Trident Realty Group Northwest with a team of 5 agents and in the top 3% based on transaction volume in Pierce County. And that's why I wanted to bring you in, Erik, as our superstar this week. He is also retired USAF and Reserve with over 37 years in the service. And thank you, Erik, for your service.
The U.S. taxpayer paid a lot of money to have me flying all over the world.
Yes.
I mean, I'm appreciative to those guys as well.
Well, that is awesome. And we're going to talk a little bit about his business, which is going to tie into his time in the service as well. Former high school football coach, spanning over 20 years, and 75% of Erik's business is working with retired vets and active duty military in and around Puget Sound. And so, Erik, I'd love to start out with what you credit your success to.
Boy, that's a good question. You know, it's funny, but I think I went in the military right out of high school, and I think the discipline that I was forced to endure, I think is probably as much as anything, because it's really about work ethic.
Yes.
Work ethic. So, you know, I pride myself on my work ethic, but I'm not going to take credit for it because I don't think I was always quite as worth ethic-y as I was until I got out of the military.
Yeah, well, obviously you are, because you don't get to the level of success that you have without having a high work ethic and being able to give it your all when you're doing what you love to do. And I think that you would probably agree with me, Erik, that another reason for your success is because you really embraced your uniqueness, what you were passionate about, and giving back to people that are most likely that you could connect with. And I think that's what a key to success is, really finding those clients. What is your why? Where have you been in your life, in your journey, that you can find clients that you can most serve? And as you said, 75% of your business comes from other veterans.
Absolutely. And it really is a blessing.
Yes.
To be able to give back to those that have served.
Yes. I
know what it's like to have come back from a deployment, or in my case, believe it or not, I know I don't look that old, but Vietnam, and not be received real well. And now I'm thankful because the nation is finally taking an appreciation for those that serve them. And you know, it's only 2% of all men and women that even go into the military. So in many cases, you know, when you get to your new base, you have an incomers briefing, and you get this list of off-limits places. Because unfortunately, there is a certain amount of our population that is predatory toward military members. And so anyway, it's really a blessing to be able to go and serve them.
Of course.
And know that, and they get that sense because of my past.
Yeah. They
get that sense that, you know, this guy's legit. And
yeah.
I tell all of my clients, I say, my number one responsibility when we're looking at homes is to find every reason for you to not.
Yes, I've heard you say that before, and I love that.
Yeah, not buy the home.
Yeah.
So we look at it with very discriminating eye. Lipstick on a pig is a pig.
You heard it from Erik. And one of the reasons that he may have not said, whether he was joking or not, of his work ethic maybe not being the same as when he was in the service is because it probably doesn't feel like work. When you're working with veterans and people that have gone through what you have, and again, you have that connection and that kindred spirits, it probably helps what you do make it a lot more fun when you're serving the right people, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, it's a ministry.
Yes.
Quote unquote. You know, when I get a chance to serve those that have served our nation,
yeah,
it's a blessing.
Yeah, I love that. So really think about that. If you're listening to the show today and you're a real estate agent, really think about your target market. And from a lot of our previous superstars, you've also heard this as well. Sharing their passion has been connected to who they are and the people that they serve, because that's what we do in our industry, regardless of what sales that you're in, is we're serving our clients. So think about what makes you unique, the person that you are in your past and in your current right now, because those are the clients that you're going to be able to best serve. Those are the clients that are going to best connect from you, because I would imagine if you're up against Erik with a veteran, most likely they're going to connect with you more than somebody that has not been a veteran themselves. And really that's again what business is about, is to find those right clients that we can really serve the best at the highest level. So Erik, moving over to the challenge side, what would you say has been one of your biggest challenges that you've had to deal with in business, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Well, I don't know that I've overcome it. I think it's an ongoing challenge to be able to set expectations for both buyers and sellers in a market that is so dynamic.
Yes.
That's a polite word for saying ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean,
at least we're coming out of the ridiculous a little bit.
Oh my gosh, it's getting better,
yes.
But it is very, very difficult to manage expectations, because what you have to do is, you know, from day one when you get together, you have to establish the fact that we're in a very, very difficult, very, very transient time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, buyers want to hear what buyers want to hear, and
sure.
sellers want to hear what sellers want to hear,
mm-hmm.
and the truth may be someplace right in between.
Yeah. And so I think that's probably a challenge that all agents deal with, and that's really what this show is for. It's, again, with agents, the best agents, for agents, so that you can be inspired and motivated by listening to my conversation with them, because whatever Erik's challenge is, they're not one-off challenges, but they're the same challenges that you all deal with in the real estate space and on the mortgage space as well. And I think being able to set up those realistic expectations, to really be able to draw in, I always say working with the right and the left side of the brain, the emotions and the facts that they have. So come in with numbers, be able to come in with a story as well, so that you can connect to the emotional side, understand what their why is about being successful with the process, right? So you can help bring that into the conversation.
You know, it's funny. It used to be that agents would get a client's profile, and we would then do a search for them. And we'd set them on a hot sheet with the MLS and all that. You know. That doesn't happen much anymore, because there is so much opportunity right here with so many search engines. I mean, I'm being bombarded with, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And it's all in that phone call when you're talking to the agent on the other side, because you want to... Truthfully, you want to deal with an agent that gets it. And not all agents get it. But when you have a good agent on the other side, it just brings the process together. My first question is, been on the market 2 days, how many offers do you have? If it's priced right, if it's good, it's gone. If you're sleeping on it, you're not sleeping in it. So it's very, very, very difficult to then go back to your client and say, they've got 7 offers, and do you want to join this process? sometimes you can't, because you know you're if you have to gross it up to represent the highest net,
yes,
you're always up against a low appraisal.
Yeah, well, and then you're dealing with mainly veterans, which are using VA financing, because VA financing, you can't compare any other option compared to VA. The interest rates are unbelievable. There is a funding fee, but it's so much less than the cost of mortgage insurance, and it really is a great loan for our veterans. Unfortunately, when you're going side by side, even comparing to an FHA, FHA is going to be a stronger offer because they don't have the VA appraisers. So I would imagine that you have to trying to get a step ahead of that. So, you know, I really like educating your clients and letting them know, hey, you know, this is what we have to do to make this work. And if we do, let's talk about what the potential issue could be, so that you understand we've had that conversation up front that we might run into a low appraisal issue.
You know what's been really great? All of my VA buyers are required to do their homework. And their homework is, I want a letter with you, the wife, the dog, and the kids on that letter. And I want you to tell this buyer how excited you are about the potential of owning their home.
Sure.
And you want to know something? In America, there are still people that are less impressed with their net as they are in blessing a veteran.
Yes, I love that.
That is exciting.
I love that.
That is absolutely exciting.
Yeah, if you can get to the heart of the seller, of who this buyer is.
No, absolutely. And you know, again, when you're talking about 2% of the country, that's
I didn't realize it was that low.
It's low.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you get out there and you know you and generally speaking, that client that we're making that offer to, probably in their 50s, maybe downsizing.
Yeah.
And they look at the opportunity of blessing someone.
Yes.
And
love that.
I on more than one occasion, it's brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
That's beautiful.
And the listing agent has come back and says, well, you weren't the highest and best, but they want to bless a veteran.
Yes. I love that.
That's
so have
exciting.
all your ducks in line, is, you know, what Erik is explaining. And if you're not working with a veteran, there are other things that you can do. I have received calls from listing agents so many times in my career that had said that my phone call and the guarantees that I have and these little things that are happening make a difference in that. And it's not always about the highest price, or what Erik says, the net that the seller is going to receive, but also the emotional connection, as well as the strength that the financing is actually going to make it through to closing. So all of these things are really important. And I love picking up the phone and having that conversation with the listing agent, so you can get that connection there, find out what's important and how to really strategize.
Absolutely, because
at least we have more time for a little strategy now.
and at the end of the day, it's about the team that you bring together.
Of course.
It's the lender, it's the listing agent, you know, it's the buyer's agent. And knowing that this group of people are going to meet both sides, meet their needs. Yes. Because in the end, I want to win for the buyer and I want to win for the seller.
Of course. We want it to be a win-win. So Erik, what about a marketing tip and something that you do to generate business that you think might be helpful to our listeners?
Good question. When you're a producer, I'm a producer.
A big producer.
The biggest challenge is staying in contact with your client base.
Okay.
That is the biggest challenge. And I would go back to Buffini, and Buffini says, hey, you know, get 400 people in your client base and you make a living. Yes. A lot of times we get so caught up in the, well, I hesitate to call it the minutia, but you're putting out the fire that's right in front of you. Yes. And you're so focused on that and so focused on that. And then all of a sudden, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months goes by and you forget that, you know, your client had a calendar that had had a 30-day in the home, and did I call them? Did I say, how are things going?
Yes.
Unfortunately, a lot of times you miss that. So I think the best thing that any agent can do is to make sure he continues to serve those he has formerly served.
Yes. Yep.
And be available. You know, and that lack of consistency and maintaining those relationships means you're always going to be
chasing the new ones. And I was, it's funny, I was just using my calculator there. I love that I do math for a living, and sometimes adding 1 and 1 can be a challenge, especially on a Facebook Live. But there was a statistic, and it was 8 to 12% or something. Let's just say 5 to 10%. And this is what Erik is talking about with your clients that you've already worked with. If you can pull 5 to 10% out of your clients, and if you have 400 that you're keeping in your database, if you could do an extra 10, 20, 30, 40 transactions a year just by staying in contact with your clients that you've already worked with, that is a huge, benefit, and you can increase that percentage that you're getting the more contact you have with them.
Absolutely, because a lot of times you hear the term ROI, return on investment. You've already made an investment.
Yes.
You've made an investment in the lives of people that you serve.
Yes.
Why do you spend more money trying to find new people as opposed to serving those you've served?
Exactly.
Especially when they've been blessed and they appreciate your integrity, they appreciate what you've done, how you've done it. And so, it just makes a lot of sense. But many of us, you all know who I'm talking about, wind up chasing our tail.
Yeah.
And just spinning our wheels.
Yeah.
So.
And you can do simple things. I mean, you should have some type of database. I'm a really big believer in a CRM, a contact relationship manager. And you don't even have to set the alerts that remind you when to make calls. Just literally have a list that you sort by last call date, and you make an intention to pick up the phone and call 5 of them every single day. 5 phone calls a day. Would it be worth it for you to be able to generate that easy business? And that doesn't even count the opportunities of them referring to other clients. And you really don't have to have anything to say much except for, hey, I was just thinking about you and I wanted to check in. Or it's been a year since we've chatted and I just wanted to see if there's anything that I could support you with today.
How simple is that?
It's so simple, and it goes such a far way.
This summer, we're going to have a client appreciation day.
I was just going to ask you what things you do with your...
Right now.
Yeah.
We're going to see the Tacoma Rainiers, which is the best, cheapest, fun ticket in town. That stadium is to die for. You don't have to fight the traffic to go down and see the Mariners.
Okay.
For $19 per ticket, we invite about 200 to 300.
Okay.
And everybody gets a hat. They get a hot dog, they get a pop, and I think chips.
Okay.
And we have reserved seating, and it's so much fun. We do it in August. Then at Christmas, we get together and we rent a movie theater.
Yes.
Miracle on 34th Street, black and white. Are you kidding me?
Love it.
Everybody gets popcorn and a pop, and we just get together.
Yeah.
And it's just about bringing that family back together and their family, because it's funny, as old as I am, I don't work with people I don't like. Yeah. I don't need to. So when I get these kids, first-time home buyers, it's like I'm grandpa, and I just, and they're forever mine.
Of course.
And Christmas cards and those kind of things. So, it's a legitimate niche that's based upon something that goes well beyond money.
Yes.
The money comes.
Sure.
The money comes. But when you're serving those that you love and you care about.
Yes. Yeah. So think about that plan that you can put together. It doesn't have to be a plan that you're starting the new year. Let's just say you start it right now today. The people that you've closed with, what can you do? Pick up the phone and make a few calls every day. put together an event that you can invite them into. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. I do a gift of the month with my business partners and with clients, which is really, really fun to have a fun way for them to be able to stay in contact. You receive my gift of the month notifications. And I do it a little bit different with my business partners, but with clients, you know, the first 20 people that pick up the gift of the month, they can come by your office and pick them up. And that way you can see them face to face, or you can do the old Brian Buffini drop by and drop them by something. So there's so many different things that you can do. Pick 3 things that you can work on from now moving forward to stay in contact with your existing clients so that you can really generate that extra 10 plus deals a month just by taking care of the people that you've already served.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I use WFG for title and escrow. And Wendy Lunt is one of their regional. Wendy, are you regional sales manager?
Shout out to Wendy.
Hey, Wendy. But she has had so many spectacular ideas over the years for pop buys.
Yes.
And if you take one day a week, every other week, and you pick 20 clients, and you just go out and you drop by and you leave the little pop by, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Erik, thank you. And again, it's not about generating income.
Sure.
It's about serving people.
It's about serving people, staying connected with people. So when that opportunity presents itself, they naturally are thinking about you.
Well, and the other thing I tell all my agents on the team, we don't sell anything. We help our clients make informed decisions.
Sure.
What that means, I'm not going to turn them into a real estate broker, but when they make that decision, they will have all the cards on the table. They'll know what they're doing.
Yes.
It's not about me, it's about you.
Yep.
You're going to make that informed decision, and there's no pressure.
Yeah. I was doing a speaking engagement last Friday, which was by my birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're looking good for 39.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Erik. 39, yes I am. Okay.
39 and
51,
fine,
what's the difference? But I shared, it was a nonprofit organization, and I shared the gift of contribution. And it just, every time I think about that, everything that we do in life, if we can come from a place of contribution, the gift that we receive in return is so much more.
Totally.
And our business is like that. It's a business of contribution. It's a business of serving clients, as Erik mentioned. And naturally, the gift in return is so much more. And I feel blessed that we get to come into the office every day and work with great people, work for great people, do great things in our community. And so I just love it. Erik, what about an agent that's listening today that's looking at taking their business to the next level? Outside of what we've already talked about, what would be a call to action that you would give them?
Wow. I think probably the best call to action that I personally can think of is starting your day at a particular time. And knowing that at 8 a.m. I'm going to be in the office.
Yes.
And I'm going to have my little to-do list, whether it's here or there, and I'm going to knock that sucker out.
Yeah.
Discipline is probably, I mean, we're all human. I mean, come on. Discipline is a very, very, very difficult to make sure you're getting done the things you need to get done. It's tough.
Yeah.
So the ability to structure your day and know that you're going to accomplish X number of things. Not that you're strapped to that structure, because that can be problematic as well, right? I mean, I know people that are so absolutely freaking disciplined, they have no life. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about getting in the morning, rolling your sleeves up, putting a smile on your face, saying, I'm a blessed man or woman, and I am just going to knock it out today. Probably the best thing that you can do.
Such great advice. And I am 100% on board and a believer of that you need to start out your day very structured, very disciplined, very determined, and very committed. And it is the same thing that you do every single morning. And you need to be disciplined in living the life that you want to live as well, meaning that you've got those time block times that you're actually spending time with your family and not doing things in business. But yeah, it's the same time. And I think the difficult part is not actually doing it. The difficult part is creating the habit to make the change, to commit to doing it. Because once you have that set up, I use an example in my course that I do for real estate agents, which by the way will be posted, One Time Your Business 8 Week Burns, my live virtual online course for real estate agents, and there's 15 clock hours, shout out for my One Time Your Business. We start about how to start your day and time blocking and being committed to what that's going to look like. And if you use an example of brushing your teeth and taking a shower, nobody's going to leave their house without brushing their teeth and taking a shower, right? And it's so easy. I hope not. Maybe on the weekend when you're just sleeping in, you're not going to leave the house. That's a whole nother story. But, and it's easy. You just naturally do it. You don't think about it. The reason why is because you've created a habit for you to do that. Just like driving, when you just naturally get yourself home and you're not even thinking about it, you can't remember taking the exit. It's because it's a natural thing that you have created a habit for. You can create a habit to run a structured business. You can create a habit to get into the office at 8 o'clock or whatever that time is. I use as an example for Erik. You can create a habit of what the activities are for you to do. Erik talked about affirmations right there, that come into the office and be committed to what that's going to look like. Have those positive affirmations and conversation with yourself ahead of time so you can set yourself up for the best success.
And I think if we're really honest as people, I think structure is counterintuitive to the flesh. You know, I'd rather this, or I'd rather that, or oh, I can do it then, or you know, eventually, which is me.
Yeah.
Candidly, it's me. One of the reasons that our team has 2 offices in this building is that I want the team in here. Now it's up, no rules, no rules, but I want the team to get in, have an office, be able to sit down and get going. I don't know that I could do what I do if I work from my home. Yeah. I'm not putting that down. I'm not saying that people that do that, whatever, some people could do it. But I think it'd be about my 3rd cup of coffee before I actually got at it. Yeah. You know, and of course with these, you know, this follows you around 24/7. Yeah. Which, by the way, that can be problematic as well, because you know the other thing that structuring can do? Structuring can get you to the gym. Yep. It can get you a timeout. Yes. It can get you out with your wonderful husband for a dinner, because I am not going to take this and because I've allotted this amount of time, and I'm going to seed into the things that are most important to me. So true. Knowing your husband, he's a blessed man.
Thanks, Erik.
Yeah. But you know the point.
Yes, definitely.
Because sometimes we'll let those things in life slip away.
And again, it's creating the habit. It's creating the habit of what you're committing to do for your business and for your life, and making sure that you have that balance as much as you can in a successful business.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
You know, I flew in the Air Force. So when you're up in the air for 11 hours and you got a pilot, a co-pilot, and a flight engineer, you wind up talking a lot. Sure. I mean, you know, you kind of whittle away. I'll never forget a guy that I flew with, and we had this conversation, and he said, once a week, my wife and I have a date night. Once a week. Yep. Nothing gets in the way. Sure. We have a date night. It's this. Then once a month, we have a mystery date night. And they take turns deciding what they... So he would do things like, he would have like a... What do you call it when you go from place to place? A hunt.
Scavenger.
Scavenger hunt. So he would leave a clue.
Love that.
And she would have to go to Nordstrom to the cosmetic department, and there was a woman, and he'd already have it all planned out. And he would say, now you have to say to her, is the moon full tonight? Yeah. I'm just grabbing. Yeah. But different things. Sure. And she would say, it's half full. and she'd go to her next place.
Yeah.
They would absolutely have a
Love that.
blast.
Yeah.
They would set that time
Yes.
aside, because what happens for a lot of us, if you're a type A like me, you know, get the whole business thing going on,
Yeah.
and you can't put it down.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not any
It's-
more healthy.
It's not. You can't really truly have a successful business if you're not having some type of success in your life.
Absolutely.
You know, Eric, I love that so much, and we've hit our 11:30 time, and
Nice.
so I really appreciate you allowing Victoria and I to come into your office and have a chance to have a cup of coffee and chat about your success and share with some agents that are listening to the show this morning and might listen to a little bit later. You're amazing.
You're amazing, and thank you so much. And
Cheers.
I'm as well.
Thanks, Eric.
And thank you, Tina.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you for being here for this week's Coffee with a Superstar. We'll see you next week, same time. Well, actually, normally at 11 o'clock, but same time, same different location, different place with a different superstar. So make it a great day and go take some action on your business today and take it to the next level. Bye.